Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time it's gonna be Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 4, the extended version, the second variant, May/June 2022. You can use a calculator. Let's start. Question 1. A. Find the LCM of 30 and 75. We can use the divide strategy. Divide by prime numbers. So 5 and then we get 6 and 15. We divide by 3, we get 2 and 5. So 5 into 3 into 2 into 5. And with that, we get 150. That's the answer. B. Share $608 in the ratio 4:5:7. So total parts is equal to 4 plus 5 plus 7, which is equal to 16 parts. It's equal to $608. One part is equal to 608 by 16. Let's get our calculator out. 608 divided by 16, we get $38. So 4 parts is equal to 38 into 4, which is equal to $152. 5 parts is equal to 38 into 5, which is equal to $190. And for 7 parts, it's 7 into 38, which is 7 parts equals $266. 152, 190, and $266. C. Work out 6.39 into 10 to the power 4 by 2.45 into 10 to the power 6. Give your answer in standard form, similar form to these numbers over here. It means 6.39 by 2.45 into 10 to the power 4 by 10 to the power 6. Let's get a calculator out. 6.39 divided by 2.45 is equal to approximately 2.6 multiplied by to the power of 4 minus 6. Why? Because when we divide two numbers with the same base, 10 here, but with some exponent here, you have to subtract the exponents. So this will be equal to 2.6 into 10 to the power minus 2. That's the answer. D. Write 0.272727 ... as a fraction. Why did I read it like that? Because these two dots on top of the 2 and 7 mean the recurring decimal. So 0.272727. Let's just name it as x. That's a fraction. That means 27.272727 is equal to 100x. Right? When you multiply both sides by 100. That means that when you subtract 27.272727 minus 0.272727, that's equal to 100x minus x, right? Now we can say that 27 is equal to 99x. X is equal to 27 by 99, which is equal to 3 by 11. That's the answer. E. A stone has a volume 45 centimeters cubed and mass 126 grams. Find the density of the stone and giving units of your answer. Density equals mass by volume. So that means density equals 126 by 45. Let's get our calculator out. 126 divided by 45, 2.8 grams per centimeter cube. That's the answer. Question 2a. The points P, Q, R, and S lie on a circle with diameter PR. Work out the size of angle PSQ, giving a geometrical reason for each step of your working. So now we can first find out that angle PQR is equal to 90 degrees. Why? because this angle over here is an angle in the triangle with a diameter as one of the sides, and this angle is the angle in a semicircle. And now we can just write that down. PQR angle is equal to 90 degrees, as angles in semicircle are 90 degrees. And now next we have angle PRQ. So we can find this angle by subtracting these two angles from 180, because that's the total number of angles in triangle, and then we get the value for that, which is actually angle PRQ is equal to 61 degrees for that reason. Angles in triangle add up to 180 degrees. Now for the final one, which is angle PSQ, it's also equal to 61 degrees. If this is 61, this is also 61, because we can use it because angles in the same segment are equal. Angles in the same segment. That's the answer. B. The points A, B, and T lie in a circle, and CTS is tangent to the circle at T. ABC is a straight line, and AB is equal to BT. Angle ATS is equal to 98 degrees. Work out the size of angle ACT. So because CTS is a straight line, we can say that this angle is 180 minus 98, which is equal to 82 degrees. Why? Because angles on a straight line add up to 180 degrees. So you can write angle ATC equals 82 degrees. Now, because of the alternate segment theorem, this angle will be equal to this angle. The alternate segment theorem states that if a chord meets a tangent at a certain point, that means that the angle at the tangent from the chord, which is in this case 98 degrees, will be equal to the angle which is caused by two chords which meet at this line AB. One chord meets at one point of this line, the other chord meets at the other point. And then these two chords also intersect at a point on the circle of the circumference. This angle will be equal to the angle at the tangent. Or in other words, this is the alternate segment angle. That's why that's 98 degrees. Now these two are equal, so this is an isosceles triangle. So that means this angle will be, first of all, angle ABT is equal to 98 degrees. And now angle BAT or CAT, both of them are the same thing. So angle CAT is equal to 180 minus 98 by 2. That makes 82 by 2, which is 41 degrees. This is 41 degrees. And this angle will be 180 minus 41 minus 82, which becomes 180 minus 123. That is 57 degrees. How is it 57 degrees? Because angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So angle ACT is equal to 57 degrees. That's the answer. Question 3. A line L joins point F 3, 2 and point G negative 5, 4. A. Calculate the length of line L. So what we can do is we can use the length formula. Length is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. We can do this, so we get square root of minus 5 minus 3 the whole square plus 4 minus 2 the whole squared. So this is equal to minus 8 squared, which is equal to 64, and this is equal to 2 squared, which is 4. So the answer will be the square root of 64 plus 4. That's equal to root 68. Let's get our calculator out for that. So square root of 68. We get 8.2462, which I'll write as 8.246 centimeters. That's the answer. Let's go to part B. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of line L in the form y equals mx plus c. So first we find the m, the gradient of the original line. So that's equal to change in y by change in x. So 4 minus 2 by minus 5 minus 3, which is equal to 2 by minus 8, which is equal to minus 1 by 4. So m of line L is equal to minus 1 by 4. Now m prime, I'll write the perpendicular bisector's gradient as m prime. That's equal to minus 1 by m. So that's equal to minus 1 by 1/4 in negative here. So that'll be 4. So y equals mx plus c, that has 4 as the m over here. Now, the perpendicular bisector of line L. I'll just show a sketch here. So if this is line L, that means this is the perpendicular bisector. I'm just saying, let's just say these two sides are equal. So that means this point, the intersection point, is the midpoint of line L. So we find the midpoint. That's also a point on the perpendicular bisector. So the midpoint is equal to the x values mean, comma, the y values mean. So 3 plus minus 5 by 2, comma, 4 plus 2 by 2. That's equal to 3 plus minus 5 is negative 2. Divided by 2, it's equal to minus 1. So x is minus 1. And y is 4 plus 2 is 6. Divided by 2, we get 3. So minus 1 comma 3. Now we can substitute the value of m, x, and y using these 3. So y is 3. That's equal to minus 1 into 4 plus c. So 3 equals minus 4 plus c. C is equal to 3 plus 4, which is equal to 7. Now that means y is equal to 4x plus 7. That's the answer. See, a point H lies on the y-axis as the distance GH is 13 units. Find coordinates of two possible positions of H. I'll just draw a sample graph to show you, sketch of the graph to explain it easier. So 0 is over here. Now this is the y-axis over here, and this is the x-axis over here. The x prime, y prime, which is the negatives. So this is just a small sketch of how a normal graph would look like.
Here it's given in the question that point G is negative 5 comma 4.
And it'll be somewhere around here, just as a marking. This is point G, minus 5 comma 4. And now we need to find out positions of H on the y-axis somewhere over here, such that GH is 13 units. So the distance over here should be 5, and so there should be some distance, so this distance, full thing, is 13. Using Pythagoras theorem, we can say this is 12. This forms a right angle triangle over here. Right angle, 5 squared, 25, 12 squared is 144,
13 squared, 169. And when we add these two, it's also 169. So that's why if this distance is 13, this is 5, we need this to be 12 on both sides. So now we need to do 4 plus 12. It'll be 0, comma 4 plus 12. That's equal to 0, comma 16. It'll be somewhere up. 0, comma 16. That's the first point. Now the second point will be down below. So this is the second point. That's equal to 0, comma 4 minus 12. It's equal to 0, comma negative 8. Like that. That's this point over here. Why is it 0, comma? Because x is always equal to 0 in the y-axis line. So the 2 points are 0, comma 16 and 0, comma minus 8. That's the answer.
Question 4. ABCD is a trapezium over here with DC parallel to AB. DC is 6.4 centimeters, DB is 10.9 centimeters, angle CDB is 38 degrees, and angle DAB is 45 degrees. A. Find CB. So remember, the diagram is not to scale. CB is one side out of the three sides of the triangle CBD. And because of that, we know two of the sides and we know the angle which is opposite to this side. So you can use cosine rule. So if you use the cosine rule, that means CB squared is equal to CD squared plus BD squared minus 2 into CD into BD into cos 38. Because 38 is the angle opposite to CB. Means, let's take CB's length as x. X squared is equal to CD squared, 6.4 squared, plus BD squared, which is 10.9 squared, minus 2 into CD, 6.4, into BD, 10.9, cos 38. You can get that calculator out. 6.4 squared, 40.96 plus 10.9 squared. That'll be this value, 159.77, minus 2 into 6.4 into 10.9 into the cos of 38. It's equal to 109.94, 149.77 minus 109.94. X squared is equal to 49.83 centimeters. X will be the square root of this, which will be 7.059 centimeters. And that's equal to CB, so that's the answer. Now we can go to part B. 1. Find angle ADB. This angle. So we can find this angle over here because these two are parallel lines, transversal. Angle is over here, and this angle is an alternate to this angle. So both of them will be equal. This is also 38 degrees. And now using the angles in triangle law, we can see that the sum of these three angles is 180, which means we can find the angle which we need, angle ADB, which is 180 minus 45 minus 38, which is equal to 97 degrees. So that's the answer. 2. Find AB, which is the length of the side. So last question, part A, we used the cosine rule. Now we're using the sine rule. Why? Because we know the three angles. We know one side over here. So we have one angle and its opposite side. We can find another side where we have the opposite angle given. A, which is the length of the side, 10.9 by sine A, which is the sine of the angle opposite to it, 45 degrees, is equal to B, another length of the side, which is in this case unknown. I'll just write as AB by sine of the angle opposite this side, which is 97 degrees. Now we can do all of this. Sine of 45 is equal to 0.707. So we can divide 10.9 divided by 0.707. It's equal to 15.417. I'll write that's equal to AB by what's sine 97? 0.993. That means AB is equal to 0.993 multiplied by 15.417. We can do that. 0.993 multiplied by 15.417. It's equal to 15.31 centimeters. That's the answer. C. Calculate the area of the trapezium. So now we have this side 15.31 centimeters. We have the upper side as well, 6.4 centimeters. All we need is the height of the trapezium. See, what we can do is we can find the area of these two separate triangles and then add both of the areas. By the way, x, as you found, part A is 7.059 centimeters. I'll name this as triangle A, this as B. So triangle A's area, that'll be equal to, we can use an alternative formula, which is half AB sine C, which is half of the two sides AB multiplied by the sine of angle C, which is in between the two sides. So we have two sides here, 15.31 and 10.9. We have angle C, which is 38 degrees. So that'll be equal to half into 15.31 into 10.9 into sine of 38. We can do this. 15.31 into 10.9 multiplied by half. We get this. And then into the sine of 38, we get 51.37 centimeters squared. And now B, triangle B, we have two sides, which are this side and this side, and we have an angle 38 degrees there. So half AB sine C, so half into 6.4 into 10.9 into the sine 38 again. That's equal to, let's get our calculator for this. 1 by 2 multiplied by 6.4 multiplied by 10.9 multiplied by the sine of 38 once again. We get 21.474 centimeters squared. So that means A plus B, that's the area of the trapezium, that'll be 51.37 plus 21.474. Let's do this. 51.37 plus 21.474. We get 72.844 centimeters squared. This is 72.844. That's the answer. Now for question 5, A. Draw the lines of symmetry of the rectangle. A rectangle always have two lines of symmetry, one horizontal, one vertical. So I'm not going to exactly do it, I'm just going to show you how you're supposed to draw the lines with accurate measurements. So we take the midpoint of both of these lines. I'll just mark an approximate midpoint. And now we just draw a line through those two midpoints. So these two will be exactly the same. That's one line of symmetry. Do the same thing for the other two lines. Take the midpoints of these two lines accurately using a ruler and draw a straight line through those as well. If you did it correctly using measurements, that means you would have got these two lines as the lines of symmetry, and
these two lines will actually be equal. So like the arrows which I drew just now, these 4 places will actually be equal length. And same for this way. These 4 will be equal length. That's the answer. B. 1. Describe fully the single transformation that maps triangle A onto triangle B and triangle A onto triangle C. So triangle A onto triangle B is going this way, from A to B. We can see that the orientation of the shape is the exact same. It has just moved a little bit. It's still the same size and orientation. This has moved slightly, and that means it's a translation. So let's go back and just write translation. And we need to have a vector for a translation. So we'll find that now. Let's take 1 point on triangle A and the same corresponding point on triangle B. How much distance or how many units does it take to reach the point on B from the point on A? So you have to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have to go left 1. So left 1 is -1 in the x-axis and up 4 is 4 in the y-axis. So the vector will be -1, 4. So translation with the vector -1, 4. B. Triangle A onto triangle C, which is this triangle onto this one. So we can see that because the orientation is different, it's a rotation. And if we rotate this way, anti-clockwise direction, and if you rotate 90 degrees, then we'll get the same orientation as triangle C. So it's a rotation 90 degrees anti-clockwise. And now we need to find the center of rotation. We'll find that now. We need to find which point is having the same distance from a point on triangle A and corresponding point on triangle C. So let's take these 2 points here. This point and this point. So actually over here we have to go 4 steps to go from -2 in the x to 2 in the x, and we go 2 up to come to this point, 2, 1. Now if we go the same distance but in a different direction, 4 up and 2 left, we'll also get to the same point. This diagonal is the same length. So if we made a triangle out of these 3 points, this would always be an isosceles triangle with these 2 sides being equal. And it's the same for the other sides as well. So this one go 4, 3, and over here we go 4, 3 in a different direction. Over here we go 7, 3, 7, 3. So that means the center is 2, 1. 2. A. Draw the image of triangle A after reflection in y equals 2. So we need to find the line y equals 2. I'll just erase this because the line is over here. So this line is y equals 2. Now we need to find the reflection of A in this line. So now we need to take 1 point in triangle A. It is 3 units away from the line here, the shortest distance. So you go 3 units in the same direction to get the point here. So that's the reflection point. We do the same thing for the other 2 points and we get a triangle like this. So this is, let's go back to the question. This is part 2A of B. So we'll just write this triangle name as A, but then B to A. So that's the answer. And now for the second part, B. Draw the image of triangle A after enlargement by scale factor -2, center -1, 1. So first let's mark the center, -1, 1 over here. So we need to enlarge this by minus 2, which is making a confusion. How do you enlarge by a negative number? That practically means you need to rotate the triangle A 180 degrees and then enlarge it into 2 scale factor from this point there. When we rotate it 180 degrees, we get the triangle over here, like that. So this is triangle A after a rotation of 180 degrees about this point. And now we need to make it into scale factor 2. So this distance is 2 up and 1 right. So we go another time to get to point 1 comma 5, and we draw a triangle double the size of this. So we need to make all the sides double in length. So this will be 2, and then this will be 6, and this will just connect the sides. So this is triangle A, but it's actually in part B to B. That's the answer. Let's go on to question 6. A. At a festival, 380 people out of 500 questioned say that they are camping. There are 55,300 people at the festival. Calculate an estimate of the total number of people camping at the festival. So that means we just need to find 380 by 500 into this number 55300. Let's get our calculator out. 380 divided by 500 multiplied by 55300. We get 42028 people camping. That's the answer. B. 12 friends travel to the festival. 5 travel by car, 4 travel by bus, and 3 travel by train. 2 people are chosen at random from the 12 friends. Calculate the probability that they travel by different types of transport.
Okay, so first let's find out the probability that one of them takes car and the other two take either bus or train. So that'll be equal to, let's say, car and then bus or train. That's what we'll be writing. That'll be equal to 5 by 12, because 5 travel by car out of the total of 12, multiplied by 4 plus 3, which is 7, divided by 11, because the person who travels by car is already removed from the group that they have selected from. So there are only 11 people remaining, which are 4 traveling by car, 4 traveling by bus, and 3 traveling by train. So that's why you have 5 by 12 into 7 by 11, which is 35 by 132. Now for bus and then car or train, that will be equal to 4 by 12 into 5 plus 3, which is 8, divided by 11 as before. So that will be 32 by 132. And now for train and then car or bus, that will be equal to 3 by 12 multiplied by 4 plus 5, which is 9, by 11. That will be 27 by 132. And now adding all of these up to get the total probability, that will be 94 by 132 if we did it correctly. That will be equal to 47 by 66. And that is the total. That's the answer, 47 by 66. Let's go to part C.
C. Adno buys a student ticket for $43.68. This is a saving of 16% on the full price of a ticket. Calculate the full price. So a saving of 16% means 16% less. That means 84% of original. So that means we need to find 43.68 by 84%, which is equal to 43.68 into 100 by 84. Let's get our calculator out.
43.68 into 100 divided by 84. We go like that. That will be equal to $52. And that will be our answer here. Let's go to part D.
D. At a football match,
There are 29,800 people. Correct to the nearest 100. 1. At the end of the football match, the people leave at a rate of 400 people per minute. Correct to the nearest 50 people. Calculate the lower bound for the number of minutes it takes for all the people to leave. That means the least number of minutes. That means there should be the highest value possible for this and the lowest value possible for this. So there's less people and more people leave every minute. That means there'll be less time for them to leave. So the lower bound of this number, 29800, is equal to 29750 because half of 100 is 50. And then we just subtract 50 from this to get the lower bound. Using the same method, we can find the upper bound of 400. Remember that's correct to the nearest 50, so when we divide by 2, it's 25. So we add 25, which is 425. So now we can simply divide it. Let's get our calculator out. Here we are. 29750 divided by 425, which is 70 minutes. That's the answer. 2. At a cricket match, there are 27,500 people. Correct to the nearest 100. Calculate the upper bound for a difference between the number of people at the football match and the cricket match. So we need to find, because football has more people than cricket, we need to find the lower bound for cricket and upper bound for football. So the upper bound for football, which is 29,800, which is 29,850. And now the lower bound of cricket, which is 27,500, that's equal to 27,450. So now when we subtract this, 29,850 minus 27,450, we get, let's do that. That makes 2,400 people. That's the answer. Let's go to question 7. Information about the mass, mkg, of each of 150 children is recorded in the frequency table. So the masses are up here in continuous data and the frequency is given there. A. Calculate an estimate of the mean mass. So what we need to do is take the middle value for m. So over here it's 5, 15, and then this is 22.5, this is 32.5, and this is 45. So now we simply multiply these, and then because the mean, we divide by 150, which is the number of children. So 5 into 12 plus 15 into 38 plus 22.5 into 32 plus 32.5 into 50 plus 45 into 18. And then we divide by 150. Let's do this on a calculator. 5 into 12. We add 15 into 38, which is this. Add 22.5 into 32. This value plus 32.5 into 50. This value plus 45 into 18. That makes it 3785. Divide by 150. We get 25.23 kg. That's the answer. By the way, there's 2 decimal places. B. Draw a histogram to show the info in the table. So we know that height is equal to frequency by class width. That means the height of the bar. So the class width is the weight of the bar here. So frequency by class width, which is 12 by 10, because 10 minus 0 is 10. So 12 by 10, which is equal to 1.2 centimeters, or frequency density here. So we can draw the bar, first bar like this. And for a second bar, the class width is 10. And the frequency is 38. So 38 by 10, which is 3.8 frequency density. So you make it go up there. Like that. Now, For a third part, it's 2025, so it's 5 class width and 32 frequency. So 32 by 5, which is equal to 6.4. Let's draw the bar for that. Remember the class width is 5 here, so we go like this. And now for the fourth one, the class width is 15 and the frequency is 50. So 50 by 15, and that's equal to, let's get that calculator out. We get 3.3. Let's take this 3.3 to one decimal place. So we'll draw the graph for that. You can make it as 3.3, so it's over here, and class width is 15, so it goes like that. And now the fifth one, class width is 10, frequency is 18, so 18 by 10, which is equal to 1.8. That's the last frequency density, so you can simply draw the bar like this. That's the answer. Now let's go to part C. 1. Use the frequency table to complete this cumulative frequency table. So cumulative frequency means when we add up the frequencies before whichever mass set we are using. So if it's, let's say, 10 less than m less than or equal to 20, then we add this with everything before this or on the left of it. So that's 12. So for the first one, it's 12. And the second one, it's 12 plus 38, 50. And then add 32, so 82. Then we add 50, so it's 132. And then we add 18, so it's 150. 2. Calculate the percentage of children with a mass greater than 10 kg.
That means it should be everything excluding this category over here, because this is m less than or equal to 10, which is less than or equal to 10 kg. So that will be 150, which is the total, minus 12, full thing divided by the total, which is 150, into 100 plus percentage. And if you do that correctly, you'll get the answer as 92%. That's the answer.
Let's go to question number 8a. Solve the equation given here. Now we can separate like terms. So that'll be 10 minus 3 is equal to 11p plus 3p. So 7 is equal to 14p, and p will be equal to 7 by 14, which is half. 2. Make m the subject of this formula.
mc squared minus 2k equals mg. Okay, so to make m the subject, first we can bring mg to the other side and minus 2k to the other side. mc squared minus mg is equal to 2k. So that means m into c squared minus g is equal to 2k by factorizing the m out. That means m is equal to 2k by c squared minus g. And that is our answer because we've brought m as the subject of the formula. 2k by c squared minus g. Let's go to part C. Solve 1 by x minus 3 plus 4 by 2x plus 3 is equal to 1. We can cross multiply to make the denominator the same. So 2x plus 3 plus 4 into x minus 3 by x minus 3 into 2x plus 3 equals 1. Okay, so this means we can see 4 into x minus 3 is 4x minus 12. So that means this will be 6x minus 9 by x minus 3 into 2x plus 3 equals 1. So now we can bring the brackets to the other side. 6x minus 9 equals x minus 3 into 2x plus 3. And we can simplify this. 6x minus 9 is equal to 2x squared plus 3x minus 6x minus 9. We can write this as simply minus 3x. And now 2x squared minus 9x is equal to 0. And now we can factorize out the x. So x into 2x minus 9 is equal to 0. So that means we can write x is equal to 0 because this is 0. Or 2x minus 9, the other bracket will be 0. That means 2x equals 9 and x is equal to 4.5. So these are the two possible values of x. And that's the answer. Let's go to part D.
D. Solve the simultaneous equations. You must show all your working. We realize there's an exponent over there, so
It's not easy to do it in the normal way which we usually do, but we can actually just make this as y as the subject and then substitute it in here. So that means x plus 2y is equal to 12, 2y equals 12 minus x, y is equal to 12 minus x by 2, which is equal to 6 minus half x. So now we can substitute that into this equation. Now 5x plus 6 minus half x the whole squared is equal to 39. Now when we do this, a minus b the whole squared is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab. So 5x plus a squared, which is 6 squared, 36. And then b squared, which is half x squared, plus 1/4 of x squared. And then minus 2 into a into b. So 2 into these two values. Minus half x into 2 into 6, which is equal to 6x. That's equal to 39, by the way. So when we bring 39 to the other side as well, 36 minus 39, that'll be minus 3. 5x minus 6x is minus 1x or minus x. So that'll be quarter x squared minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. That's equal to 0. So that means when we multiply both sides by 4, that means we can get x squared minus 4x minus 12. That's equal to 0. Now, what number, when you multiply, gives minus 12, and we add, it gets negative 4. So if we think about negative 6 and positive 2, when we add these, that's equal to minus 4. This one. When we multiply these, that's equal to minus 12. So we got two numbers. That means we can factorize it. X minus 6 into x plus 2 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 6 and x is equal to minus 2. Now we substitute this to find y. Substitute into the first equation. So that means 6 plus 2y equals 12. 2y equals 6. Y equals 3. Or when we substitute minus 2 plus 2y equals 12. 2y equals 14. Y equals 7. So the two values for y and also two values for x up there. And we found the answer. X equals 6. And if x equals 6, y is equal to 3. Or that means if x equals minus 2, and that means y is equal to 7. E, expand, simplify this. So now we first expand two of the brackets. So that'll be 2x squared plus 12x minus 3x minus 18. The whole thing into x minus 4. So we can write this. We write it because 12x minus 3x. That means we get 9x minus 18. Whole thing into x minus 4. Now, when you multiply x minus 4 into each of these, what do we get? 2x squared into x minus 4 is equal to 2x cubed minus, that'll be equal to first, so 2x cubed minus 8x squared, and then plus 9x squared minus 36x minus 18x plus 72. So when we simplify this, it becomes 2x cubed plus x squared minus 54x plus 72. And that's the answer. 2x cubed plus x squared minus 54x plus 72. Now let's move on to question 9. Question 9. A. In triangle PQR, M lies on QR and S lies on PR. Explain, giving reasons, why triangle PMR is similar to triangle MSR.
Okay, so first of all, we can see that angle PMR is a right angle. So this is a right angle triangle. And then angle MSR is also a right angle, so that's a right angle triangle. So we have angle PMR is equal to angle MSR because it is 90 degrees or a right angle, you can say. So that's the first reason. That's the first angle completed. Now the second one, we can say that angle PRM and angle SRM, they both are the same angle right here, right? So angle PRM is equal to angle SRM, which are the same angle. And now that's two of the angles are the same. And now the third angle, which is angle SMR and angle MPR, right? This one and this one. These two angles will be the same because they are the third angle, and all the angles add up to 180 degrees. So angle MPR is equal to angle SMR because it is the third angle of the triangle, and angles in a triangle add to 180 degrees, or the sum is equal to 180 degrees for all angles. And this is why triangle PMR is similar to triangle MSR. We are fulfilling the AAA, or three angles property. That's the answer. Let's go to part B.
B. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR over here. 1. Find the value of x. So for ABC is to PQR a ratio of the side length. That means it will be 8.1 is to 9.9. And we can simplify this to 9 is to 11.
So why is it 9 is to 11? Because when we take 8.1 and 9.9 and we take this ratio over here, divide both sides by 0.9 over here, and then we get that as 9 is to 11. That's why that's the ratio.
So ABC is to PQR is equal to 8.1 is to 9.9, which is equal to 9 is to 11. And if 9 is to 11, we can make the same thing ratio for 4.5 is to x. So 9 is to 11 equals 4.5 is to x. We realize that if we divide both sides by 2, we get 4.5 and another number, which will be x equals 11 by 2, which is equal to 5.5. That's the answer. 2. The area of triangle PQR, this triangle, is 25 centimeters squared. Calculate the area of triangle ABC. So the area is 25 centimeters squared, right? Now we can find the ratio for the areas of the triangles. Because the ratio for the sides is 9 is to 11, the areas will be these lengths squared. So the side ratio squared. So ABC squared is to PQR squared is equal to 9 squared is to 11 squared, which is equal to 81 is to 121. That will be equal to area of triangle ABC, I'll write it as A, is to 25. That means that 121 divided by 25 is equal to 81 divided by A. So you'll write that. So we can get a calculator out.
So 121 by 25 is equal to 4.84. And that means A will be equal to 81 by 4.84, which is equal to, let's do that, 81 divided by 4.84, which is equal to 16.74 centimeters squared to 2 decimal places. That's the answer.
Question 10. A. Find all the positive integers which satisfy the inequality. Here, 3n minus 8 greater than 5n minus 15. So that means 5n minus 3n is less than 15 minus 8. So 2n is less than 7. N is less than 3.5. So we need to find all the positive integers which satisfy this.
So this means that the n value, because positive integer, it can be either 1, 2, or 3. These are the n values, and that's the answer.
And now for B, the region marked by R is defined by three inequalities. 1. Find these three inequalities. We can see that this dotted line here is x equals 4. This dotted line is 2y equals x minus 4. And this straight line is 10y plus x is equal to 80. So these three lines actually form the shape of our triangle over there, which is defined by three inequalities, which means it could probably define by these three lines. But instead of making it as equal to, we need to make it as less than equal to or greater than equal to or something. We just need to change the sign in each of these. For the first one, x equals 4. The region in R has x values which are greater than 4. So that means x will be greater than 4 over here. The values are greater. But because this is a dotted line, we need to make it as x is greater than 4 with no equal to. Now for the second one, which is this one, we can take 10y plus 8x equals 80. But over here it looks like it's less. So that means we can make 10y plus 8x less than or equal to 80. Why am I writing less than or equal to? This line is not a dotted line. It's a straight line. Now for our last one, it's a dotted line, so we know it'll be greater than or less than. There won't be an equal to over there. Now 2y equals x minus 4. When we see the points over here, they are above. And if we see here 2y, that means 2 into 2, that's 4. X minus 4 is 5 minus 4, which is 1. So 4 greater than 1, right? So we need to make it as 2y greater than x minus 4. That's the answer. 2. Write down the largest value of 3x plus y in the region R for integers x and y. So we need to find a coordinate on the point which has integer coordinates over here, something like that. And we need to find which one actually makes the largest value of this. So we take 7, 2. 7, 2. X is 7, y is 2. So 3 into 7 plus 2, which is equal to 21 plus 2, is equal to 23. That's the answer. Let's move to question 11. A. A rectangular sheet of paper ABCD is made into an open cylinder with the edge AB meeting the edge DC. You see here, the points A and D are both in the same point. Same for points B and C, they're in the same place. 1. Show that the radius of the cylinder is 4.46 centimeters. Correct to 3 significant figures. So now because AB is over here, that means this length is 20 centimeters. That means the rolled up cylinder here, actually this length will be 28 centimeters. So the circumference of the circle is 28 centimeters. Circumference is 28 centimeters, which is equal to 2 pi r. Now that means when we take pi r, that'll be equal to 28 by 2, 14 centimeters. Now we divide this by pi. Let's get our calculator out. Here we are. 14 divided by pi. We get 4.46 centimeters. And as given in the question, this is correct, so proven. Now let's go to part 2. Calculate the volume of the cylinder. We have the radius of the circle, which is 4.46 centimeters. We have the length of the cylinder. So this is actually 20 centimeters. So we can find the area of a circle. So the area will be equal to pi r squared, which is equal to pi into 4.46 squared. Let's do that. 4.46 squared multiplied by pi. We get 62.49 in centimeters squared. And now 62.49 multiplied by 20 for the volume. I'll just write that here. V is equal to 1249.83 centimeters cubed. That's the answer. For part 3, N is a point on the base of the cylinder such that BN is a diameter. Calculate the angle between AN and the base of the cylinder. So if n is the point opposite to b where it makes a diameter, this length will be 4.46 into 2. Diameter. The diameter will be 4.46 multiplied by 2, which is equal to 8.92 in centimeters. That's equal to NB. And this length is 20 centimeters. And we know that this triangle over here, which is formed by N, A, and B, as a right angle triangle. So we can use trigonometry to find this angle, which is what we need, of course. I'll just name the angle as angle A and B. First, I'll make a dotted line there. This angle is angle A and B. So now we can find that using trigonometry. So we have the adjacent and the opposite. Now the tan formula can be used. Tan x equals opposite by adjacent. That's equal to 20 by 8.92, which we shall do now. 20 divided by 8.92. It's equal to this value, 2.24 approximately. So x will be tan inverse of this, which will be, let's do tan inverse, so 65.96 degrees. That's equal to angle A and B. That's the answer, 65.96 degrees. Now let's move to part B. B. The volume of a solid cone is 310 centimeters cubed. The height of the cone is twice the radius of its base. Calculate the slant height of the cone. The volume V of a cone with radius r and height h is V equals to 1 by 3 pi r squared h. So what we can do is we can draw the cone. So I'll just draw the cone like this. Yeah, I drew a cone. I know this thing's a bit detached, but let's just say this is like a proper cone, And now we'll just write down everything here. So the base of the cone's over there and the radius is over here, r. This height over here, h, that's equal to 2r, which is given over here, twice the radius. And the volume is equal to 310. Now we can actually find out the radius. So 1 by 3 into pi r squared into 2r, because h is equal to 2r, that's equal to 310. So that'll be 1 by 3 into pi into 2r cubed, which will be equal to 310. Let's use a calculator now. So we bring the 1 by 3 to the other side. That means we'll get 310 into 3, which is 930. And then we bring this 2 to the other side. It'll be 930 divided by 2, which will be equal to, let's just do that, 465. So we can cancel out these two over here. Pi into r cubed equals 465 here. So r cubed will be just divided by pi. You get this value. So that's equal to r cubed. I'll write that down. R cubed is equal to 148.014. R is equal to the cube root of this, which is 5.29 centimeters. So you found R. That means H will be, when you multiply this by 2, 10.58 centimeters. Now we can write this 10.58 centimeters. R is equal to 5.29 centimeters. So now we have the height and the radius. We need to find the slant height, which is this. So I'll name this as slant height S. So we can see that this 3 forms a right angle triangle. We have 2 sides and we need to find the hypotenuse. So now that means r squared plus h squared is equal to s squared.
We know R and H, so 5.29 squared plus 10.58 squared is equal to S squared. We can do this. 5.29 squared, 27.9841 plus 10.58 squared, 111.9364 is equal to S squared. So S squared is equal to, let's just add 27.9841 to this. We get this value. S is equal to the square root, which is 11.829 centimeters. That's the answer. Now let's move on to question 12. Question 12. A curve has the equation y equals x cubed minus kx squared plus 1. When x is equal to 2, the gradient of the curve is 6. A. Show that k equals 1.5. So for this, we can take the derivative dy by dx of this. So because there's a power 3, now we make it multiply by 3, and then we subtract 1 from the power, so we get 3x squared. Minus the k remains the same, but the x squared, because it has a power there, this one comes to multiply, and the x power decreases by 1, so 2 minus 1 is 1, which we don't need to write because x power 1 is x, and then plus 1 disappears by dx. So when x is equal to 2, the full thing value will be 6. Now 3 into 2 squared minus 2 into 2 into k, it's equal to 6. 12 minus 4k equals 6. 4k is equal to 12 minus 6, which is 6. K is equal to 6 by 4, which is equal to 1.5. And we have proven the statement given in the question. B. Find the coordinates of the two stationary points of y equals x cubed minus 1.5x squared plus 1. You must show while you're working. So by a stationary point, we mean that the gradient, or m, is equal to 0, which means dy by dx is equal to 0. So this, in the first question, we found what's dy by dx. So we can just write that 3x squared minus, we already found the value of k, so 1.5 into 2x, which is equal to 0. We can change this as 3x. So 3x squared minus 3x is equal to 0. We can take out 3x. 3x into x minus 1 is equal to 0. Now, if this is equal to 0, that means either side has to be 0. This can be 0 over, there's another value. If this is equal to 0, that means x will be. Now, we can just substitute these two values into the original equation to find the y value of the stationary points. So y equals, for x equals 0, it'll be y equals just, this will be 0, this will be 0, so just 1. And now for the second one, which is x equals 1, so that means when x equals 1, y will be equal to 1 cubed minus 1.5 into 1 squared plus 1, which is equal to 1 minus 1.5 plus 1, which is equal to 0.5. Now we can just write the coordinates like this, 0, 1 and 1, 0.5. Because this is one point, this is another point. That's the answer. Now we can go to part C. Sketch the curve y equals x cubed minus 1.5x squared plus 1. That is the curve which we have attended in the previous questions. So this curve, we need to sketch it. So first, I'll just mark 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. We don't need the last one, but I'm still marking it for non-confusion. And over here we will have a 0.5 because there's a y equals 0.5 point here. So now we can plug in these 2 points here. So now x equals 0, y equals 1, that means this point is there. And now x equals 1, y equals 0.5, so this point is also there.
and these two are stationary points, so the curve will turn at this point. These are the maximums and there's the minimum of each wave of the curve, normal curve, and then the curve changes direction and then it changes again to go back in the normal direction. So this first point is the maximum before it goes back down, and the second point is the minimum because it goes back up. Now I'll just draw it like I just said. There, there, and we can just extend the curve like this. So this is the full curve. I'll just label it as y equals x cubed minus 1.5 x squared plus 1. That's the answer. And with this, I come to the end of my video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends and family, and comment on what you think we can do better in these videos and what you want us to upload in the future. With this, it's me, Sanjay Basu, signing out. Thank you. Bye.